Have you ever wondered what happens to things when they get old? Like a favorite toy, a worn-out book, or even a giant, powerful train. Today, we're going to a small town where a very special train, after many years of hard work, finally came to a stop. But this isn't a sad story. It's a story about how endings can sometimes be the most beautiful new beginnings. In this cozy little town, tucked away between rolling hills, lived a train named Rusty. For decades, Rusty was the town's heartbeat. Every morning, with a cheerful whistle, he'd chug along the tracks, carrying people to work, kids to school, and packages filled with surprises. He saw generations grow up, waving to him from their windows. The rumble of his wheels was the town's favorite song, a sound that meant connection, adventure, and coming home. Rusty loved his job. He loved the smiling faces and the important journeys he was a part of. But as years went by, things started to change. Newer, faster trains were built. People started using cars more often. Slowly, Rusty's once bustling carriages became quieter. His cheerful whistle sounded a little lonely. The children who used to wave were now grown-ups with busy lives. One day, the town announced that Rusty would be making his very last trip. His time on the tracks was over. That evening, as Rusty pulled into the station for the final time, the whole town was there. It was a bittersweet moment. They cheered for his years of service, but everyone felt a little sad knowing they wouldn't hear his familiar chug-a-chug again. For a while, Rusty sat silently on a forgotten track near the edge of town. His bright paint began to fade, and weeds started to grow around his wheels. He was no longer the town's hero. He was just an old, forgotten train. He missed the laughter of children and the feeling of purpose. He thought his story had ended. But the people of the town hadn't forgotten him. They remembered all the joy Rusty had brought them. The mayor called a town meeting. "Rusty is a part of our history," she said. "We can't just let him fade away. We need to give him a new life." That's when a brilliant idea sparked. What if Rusty didn't have to move to be important? What if his new journey was right here, in one place? The town decided to give Rusty a grand makeover. Everyone pitched in, they scrubbed away the rust, and artists from the town came with buckets of vibrant paint. They painted a bright yellow sun on his engine, fluffy white clouds on his carriages, and colorful flowers all along his sides. He wasn't just a train anymore. He was a rolling piece of art. They took out the old seats and replaced them with swings, slides that spiraled out of the windows, and a sandbox in one of the cargo cars. The old, silent train was transformed. He was now the sleeping train playground. When the grand opening day arrived, the town square was filled with excitement. The children, whose parents and grandparents once rode on Rusty, now swarmed his newly painted exterior. Their laughter was louder than any whistle he'd ever blown. They slid down his sides, swung from his bars, and imagined new adventures, not on tracks, but in their minds. Rusty was no longer carrying people to faraway places. He was carrying their imaginations to worlds of fantasy and fun. He was still the heart of the town, just in a different way. Rusty, the sleeping train, had found a new purpose. He learned that even when one journey ends, it doesn't mean the story is over. It just means a new chapter is about to begin. His ending became the town's new beginning for play, laughter, and community. So, next time you feel like something is ending, remember Rusty. It might just be the start of something even more wonderful. Thanks for listening to this story with me today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more heartwarming tales. See you next time.